Hey, and welcome. My name is Chris,
Hey, what's up? My name's Nick.
and this is Crew Talk, the production podcast. I said that right?
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
That was
Awesome.
take 85, you know.
It was. And this is the pilot episode, pretty much a teaser for you to figure out if you like us or not.
Oh, we're hoping so. It took us way too long to get this table here.
It definitely did.
So-
And honestly, we need some sponsors, maybe get a new one here, but, you know, we'll see. We'll see
Right.
as the day goes on. So the idea of this podcast, Nick,
Lay it on
is
me.
what?
Oh, you want me to say?
Yeah, I'd like to hear what you think it is.
I mean, it was all your idea. No, I insist after you.
Well, I think you
Age
know
before
some of
beauty.
it. Well, the idea is, you know, to have guests on the show from the industry, you know, people that are really interesting to hear from all parts of it, not just the sound guy, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
We don't just want the sound guy.
I want to talk to the stage guys.
Yeah, we're going to talk to the guys who are out back having a smoke break. What went through their day, you know?
You don't want to know what went through
I
that.
don't, but then, come on.
But I
think we
do.
all-
That's the
think
whole
we all
point. That's
do.
the whole point.
That's right. And also off camera, we got to have Brian say hello. Brian is our producer.
Hello there.
There he is. He's going to be the off-camera guy that you never see, the Guillermo of our show.
He's going to be our Jamie.
That's right, the Jamie of
Can
our
we
show.
say, is he trademarked Jamie?
I don't think
We'll make
so.
sure. We'll
Or,
check that.
or is that my nickname now?
I think
No
so.
way. No, we're not calling him Jamie.
You won't hear or see Brian often, but when you do, it'll be very specific moments. And most of the time, us asking him to research stuff. And he doesn't have a laptop right now, but he will eventually.
It's
now
just
we're
going to be
gonna
off
do
the head.
ourselves. Yeah,
You
he's
could
gonna
make
have
up
to
whatever
just-
you
I
want.
can make up what I want, and I
right.
have my phone.
Exactly.
right.
There you go.
So, the goal of the podcast, have a lot of really cool people on the show. We got some great ideas, I think, that are good. One of my visions was to have company owners who own production companies and talk about what went into starting a company. And I think in California, it's even more of an interesting process. So it'd be
Well,
cool to hear.
Yeah, and it's just the dynamic between the designer and the company, you know.
It's true.
You can design the coolest thing in the world, but if no company owns the gear, what's the
True.
point? Like,
Very
so
true.
that whole collaboration thing that
We're
no
going
one
to
gets
talk with
to
them
talk
on
about.
their collaborations, of course, and, you know, how they run their company, what made them want to start a company, and then also what inspired them. So it's going to be an interesting thing. Then we got some other great team members from different teams of different tours. You have toured and are
Me?
going on a tour. We're going to talk to you and get your experience on it, what you liked about it, what's new, how is it going?
Yep,
We're going to bring in a lot of other people too.
exactly. Hopefully.
It's going to be fun.
Hopefully people still want to talk to us.
And then we're going to talk about gear. What kind of gear have we been looking at recently, Nick?
I mean, we've been looking at a lot of stuff, you know, we got some big events coming up, but I think the big one was the Rayzor Blade, the Proteus one from Elation.
It's really nice.
It's
It's a really nice moving batten fixture.
Is that the official word?
I think so.
Is
Let
that
me
the
see.
official
I've got
batten?
the notes on my phone here. Let's see.
I know, like,
The Proteus Rayzor Blade is a striking visual combination of linear
you forgot
wash
the violation part.
and high intensity. The what?
I know, I was just joking. Don't worry about it.
Strobe lines and spark LED inside a compact linear fixture. So it's really great. It's got 12 60-watt RGB white LEDs. It's IP65, which means one thing.
Which means it can get wet.
It can, but it's also hella heavy.
Oh, so two things.
It's hella heavy.
Yeah.
It's a really heavy fixture.
That's a big boy.
It is a big boy. Why don't we just dig into that? You know, what do you think about, what was your first impression about the fixture when you first saw it?
Where was my back medication?
Yeah, it's really heavy.
No, no.
As I've said.
Right. It's cool. No, it's a cool fixture. You know, for a lot of the stuff, we do, like combining the strobe element with just like a baton. That's the word, not
very
baton.
true.
We're not doing the Olympics race here or anything, but
No.
combining those two, you know, that's great. It's something that was missing in the market that had a spot for it.
I think so. It's a great eye candy fixture. Definitely nothing like it. They have the Rayzor Wash 760, I think it's called. Really great
But
fixture
who
as well.
uses it? That's the question.
Actually, Props AV, shout out to them, who I just worked for this week and had just bought a ton of them.
Did they? How
They're
were they?
really great fixtures. I really loved using them.
The sparkle effect was cool. It wasn't
I
like
didn't use the spark effect, honestly.
There it is.
I didn't use it. I'll be
There
honest.
it
It was
is.
a little too far into the rig to see the sparkles. It's a great effect when it's on camera really close to the audience.
Were you lighting
but
just
when
for
it's
you?
at that distance, it just wasn't that great.
What about the guy in the front standing next to the subs?
Yeah.
Just screaming how
Yeah,
loud it
I'm
is
sure
the entire time.
he would have saw
loved
them.
He would have loved to see
He
that
probably would
sparkle
have saw
effect.
them if I put them on, but I didn't. And I regret a little bit of that. But they're cool.
So what we're talking...
One thing about this, I forgot to say, we're going to be brutally honest. I think sometimes if we didn't like a product, we'll just say it. It's great for the manufacturers to hear that, I think, because I think a lot of people who do podcasts and videos want the free gear and the free shout-outs, so they say nice things all the time about
Including us. Send us the free gear.
Including us. You know, sometimes we have fluffed a little bit, but I think we have been recently pretty honest. We talked about, I talked to Matthias, the designer for the product designer for Elation, about the NX series.
And you're just throwing names out, just hoping to grab people in.
Yeah, and I was a little honest about my disappointments with the console not having timeline-based timecode yet, because it's a little behind on that.
Well, what's the point of lying about it if you're not actually going to use it? Because then they just keep making the same thing if you don't want it.
True.
And that was the issue with the Rayzor Blade we talked about, is like the sparkle effect is cool.
It is really cool,
but like
for eye candy.
It's not like
camera.
It's not that cool. Like,
I think it's great. I think it adds a visual element. What I think is really great about it is the strobes on it.
Yeah.
You can do some really cool visual stuff.
No, that's what I was getting at. Like, I think they should have really gone with that strobe and then just that center pixel kind of thing, and that would have been enough. So I guess you could just see the little sparkle as like a little spice on top of it.
It's very true. It's like icing on the cake. You don't see this, but off camera is Nick's manager. Your manager, right?
I don't want to brag.
Yeah, he's got a manager here. His name is Nathan Valdez.
You're putting a lot of work in for me.
It might be his brother,
I need someone to manage
also
this.
his manager, so I don't have one right now.
Hey,
looking.
The whole industry's family ran anyway. It doesn't matter.
That's true. So one cool toy we got to play around with is ACT or MA Lighting sent us the that's the Compact XT, right?
That is the Compact
XT, the MA3.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a really fun little fixture. I got a fun little console.
No, it's cute. It's a cute little fixture.
It's also really powerful.
It's got a light up
full
screen.
MA3 on it. It's self-powered, has a computer on board, which is great because the on PC doesn't have that. You have to have a PC.
That's true.
And I got to use it on a gig this past weekend, and I was very impressed with it because you're kind of forced to use MA3 mode on it. That's the only thing it does.
Yeah, come on, give me the real opinion on MA3 right now.
You know what I really think is the best feature on that console is swipies. I don't have to hit record a lot.
The motion.
Tap,
sorry,
pull down, and then swipe to record.
They are not called swipies.
That's what they call it. They call it swipies. Yeah.
I thought they were just called swipes.
We'll put the link on the thing. All the links for all the products we're going to talk about are in the description.
That sounds like such a Gen Z thing.
It is swipies. They're called swipies.
Yeah. No, I really liked.
Really like that.
I didn't get to use it on a show, but I got to mess with it for quite a while. The effects engine, like building effects at first compared to MA2, I mean, sucked. But like once I got into it,
it's a little hard to get used to.
Once I got into it, like it's a lot. I think it's a lot better.
It's a lot like the Onyx series where you apply the effect to the parameter. Love that about it. And I think it'll make it easier over time once you wrap your mind around the phaser. It uses phasers as its primary effects engine, which is cool.
And like once you start getting your presets built into it, like especially for color chases and stuff, you can just have it chase to a preset. I know MA2 did that, but it's just like one of those things where like once you start actually digging into it, you start realizing how nice it is in a sense.
True.
It's not as bad as I think I thought it was going to be. You know what does suck is the stuff they took away. That they just don't have.
Oh, they took away some buttons, I think, too,
They took away a lot. Like
they did.
Like all the global made stuff, like preset colors.
That's right.
Preset just doesn't exist.
You have to use a macro to bring
You got to use a macro.
the effects.
Yeah, and it's not even...
And it's phasers.
You can't assign...
Weird. And the phasers are weird because it's all together, so you have to offset them yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Or phase them, as they call it, I think.
Like,
very interesting. I'm glad they kept MA tricks. The MA tricks are probably one of the best features in the MA world.
Yeah,
the way you can split up stuff into wings and everything.
I was gonna say the wings are the one thing that gets everybody on MA going. You know, when they can do a
cough check.
Can we not cough into the mic?
Sorry,
it's fine. It's pilot episode.
We're pros around here.
It's pilot episode. We'll get rid of them in episode 2.
Another really great thing I love about that desk. Sorry, I'm losing myself here. Do
you want to take a drink of water or something?
No, we're good.
No.
Actually, yes.
On a non-named water?
One of my other favorite features about this console, Nick.
Right.
Believe it or not.
We're talking about the MA3 Command Wing XT.
That's right, the MA3
from MA Lighting.
That's right, from MA Lighting. I really like just the way you can quickly make an effect. You literally set your first position, right, or your first color, there's a button right there, or you hold the step button, which is on the desk. There's a physical step button. Hold the step button, set your next look or color or position, and it starts automatically going between the two, which is great.
Yeah.
And then you go over to Phase World, phasers, and start phasing that out.
Phase World.
0 to 360, you know what I'm saying? So if you like that console, let us know what your favorite features, and honestly, if you want to be honest and help MA out in improving the desk, let us know what your least favorite features are. What are your least favorite features, Nick?
I just don't like that they took away so much stuff. Like
They did.
So
It's
one
hard.
of my favorite things about MA2 is you could build your effects, and then under the speed you could set a speed control to it and not program it on a fader.
It's true.
You could just have the effect over on your screen, and then the speed are your speed controls here. So you click the effect, and then you have your speed control here. So you didn't have to have all these effects programmed in, right? Because if you just didn't want
This is true. They
you
did have that.
you literally can't do that on MA3. And you know what they told me?
Speedmasters.
Well, they have Speedmasters. You just have to
That's what
program
you
them
gotta,
in.
Yeah, you got to program it to it.
Right. And so I was like, hey, what's up with this? Why'd you? And you know what they told me? Well, you can vote on the feature you want next, and
You
the most
can
popular one. And it's
vote
like,
on it.
it's like you had this. I don't want to
You can
vote on a new feature.
Vote it back in, America. The decision is yours. Bring that feature back.
I think my favorite thing though is the 3D like show layout, because it's just
True.
it makes things so
the
nice.
view or that it automatically follows it too is really great. Love that feature.
It's super simple to set up.
I love the way it automatically records the preset colors, which is great. And then if you could put one fixture one color and one fixture another color, but recorded the same preset, and it shows both colors on there, which is great. Up to 4, because you can go into 4.
No, it does.
sections.
It does more than 4.
Does it?
Yeah.
I only got up to 4. I didn't.
It will go
I
like.
didn't want to go. Too
It will go
crazy.
like little slivers. Like.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh! I didn't see that.
No.
That's great.
Yeah, I think when
Brian, what do you think about that?
he doesn't care. He's an audio guy. He's literally recording a podcast right now.
I have never used an MA console.
See,
in my
Wow,
life.
his
doesn't
voice sounds silky
doesn't
smooth
care
on that mic.
He
Very
do
boomy.
got that silky smooth. It's an audio guy thing.
like,
He's got
hey.
that. He's already got it EQ'd.
The only
ladies,
the
he's
only
taken, right?
lighting console I've ever used in my life is the M6.
Wow,
You mean the
great.
M6?
great stuff.
You mean the Onyx M6
The
by
Onyx
Elation?
M6.
Onyx
yes.
M6 from Elation. That's the console we have, Nick. Right?
Yeah.
How do you honestly feel about that? Do you think we should upgrade to MA eventually?
Well, that was the part I was getting to. Is like a lot of people were saying like MA3 just isn't anywhere near as good as MA2.
It's true. That's what I've heard.
But I don't. I think some of these people are overreacting. Like for a majority of things you do, like for a lot of the stuff that we were testing with, MA3 is fine. It's not good enough to update though.
Do you know what I
console.
remember?
I think so.
I think the only thing I know how to do on the MA console is lift the screen.
Yeah, which
That was the only thing I
doesn't
knew
exist on the commander.
They do.
That,
yeah.
it does. It doesn't on the big boys though. They took away the automated screen or the motorized screens.
It is actually terrifying to put that the
It is
MA3
scary.
like set up, because you got to
Scary.
yank on that thing. It feels
do.
like now.
It's hard.
No, I don't. We're Onyx fanboys for life. You know, at this moment in our lives,
It's honestly the decision of like, do I spend $70,000 on a console or do I spend $20,000 on a console and spend the rest on lights?
Yeah, maybe,
I'd rather get more on lights.
right.
Honestly,
Maybe in the future we could talk more about our deep love for Onyx stuff.
We'll
but-
talk. We're gonna talk about a lot of things on this podcast. It's gonna be great. We'll
Right.
dig on. We'll dig in deep.
Yeah, but
Stop laughing.
Onyx here, MA here, and I know for anyone listening, there's no way of knowing where I put my hands, so it's up to you. It's interpretation at that point.
Yes.
You can say if I'm shilling
What do
for
I do
this
with my
company or
hands?
shilling for this company. It's
What
up
do
to
I do,
you.
Wins? Dun, 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 dun. And now for the
Did you make
news.
that jingle up?
I did just now.
What were you stealing?
I was from something.
I
I don't know what it is from. Dun, 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 dun,
Ed Sheeran's gonna sue us now.
I don't know. Anyways, we're talking about all right, Brian, get ready for the echo effect when we do the editing for this.
All right, I'm ready.
The news. That was cool, huh?
Yeah,
Great.
totally.
Love it.
Totally, especially since I could hear it right, like live. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally heard it live.
Couldn't
it's
hear it.
not a post
He's
effect.
lying. We couldn't hear anything. All right, let's get into it. Production industry news. I think the biggest story right now, honestly, other than Frank Ocean's situation at Coachella. Tell us, first of all, what do you feel about that? You're a Frank Ocean fan, right?
Absolutely not. I'm such a fan of blonde. Or Chanel Orange. Is that
Chanel Orange?
is that the right Chanel? Oh, yeah, Chanel Orange. Yeah, super big fan. Nah, Skrillex killed it. Skrillex did a much better job than
Skrillex
him.
there?
He replaced him.
Oh.
So they built. Sorry.
So Blink 182 didn't replace him.
No, Blink. Sort of, kind of.
Okay, so
no. Apparently, they built the Skrillex stage because it was like an EDM thing, or EDM thing. They built it like in front of the Frank Ocean stage. I don't know if it was the Frank Ocean stage or another stage.
We'll try to get pictures of that.
Yeah, and then they
Brian, post this, right? We have Brian, our video editor here.
For all of you listening on audio, we'll post pictures.
Well, you got to go to the YouTube channel and watch this back. That means because we're posting this on YouTube. We're actually making it a video podcast too. So
vodcast.
So you can see all the vodcast.
Video podcast takes too long. These kids
vodcast.
You'll lose the kids with their attention span.
Gen Z people would say.
Okay, let's not rip on my guys that much.
Sorry,
but yeah,
over here.
And then they had like a whole bunch of like lights. It was cool, but
what to look at that?
It was still disappointing about the Frank Ocean thing.
Dang.
But I mean, he broke his ankle. He broke his ankle.
He did break his ankle. You know, a lot of people thought that he was just being, I don't know the right word.
Lazy,
a punk, I guess. Diva.
You just don't get it. It's just Frank.
Yeah, just Frank being Frank, I thought, but turns out he was injured.
No, we got to get someone who was actually like working the event here.
We need to find someone. So if you're listening to this podcast and you worked on Coachella, hit us up. If not, we're going to hunt someone down. I think we got some sound guys that we know over there. Brian knows some people.
I do. I know some guys that work Coachella.
We know some people
right sound.
Gallagher did staging for it too. You know, Kinetic. I
mean, their gear was there.
Did a lot of
Everybody's gear was there.
Everybody's gear was there. So what are we talking about? Everybody did it. Other news, though.
Let's talk about your favorite.
The most devastating news, I think, honestly, in the production world for a lot of people who, honestly, I think if you're probably my age, you got into production thanks to, in part, of Fantasmic at Disneyland. And I know for me, that was the show that got me interested in, wow, what is all this? Yeah. And how do I get involved with it?
It's like the only thing that we could talk about that isn't like lighting involved and audio involved. It's show element involved.
It's a giant animatronic dragon. If you haven't heard the news already, and it is the fire that swept the nation for one night, it felt like. The dragon on Fantasmic caught on fire.
I mean, if you think, though, like California's fire season started pretty late this year, so it
did.
It's a good way to ring it in at this point.
It had to definitely get picked up in one spectacular.
Yeah, I remember the text opening. At like, I want to say it was like 11:30 at night, because I didn't really care, and it was from you, and you're like, guys, it's over. We lost.
It's true. And we'll post a little picture here or video of the dragon fire or something like that. Brian will get you some of that, right? But yeah, it caught on fire. And what it looks like is it just all of a sudden in the moment where it's supposed to spark, the fluid caught fire or something. You could see fluid leaking from it of some kind. But
I know you know more about it. It's not like gasoline.
No, it's called isopar.
Right. And they like just shoot it out of its mouth.
It's a flammable fluid, and
this thing upchucks daily.
It's probably the most environmentally friendly thing that they could use to do it. Other than gasoline.
Okay,
obviously.
It's just super environmentally friendly.
Disney, they try to be environmentally friendly for the most part, but it is what it is. It's flammable liquid that shoots out of its mouth.
And so, I mean, you would know better than me. Like, that's what caught on fire. Like something leaked or something.
Supposedly, yeah. There was fluid leaking, and it looks like it caught fire. There's some posts from some technicians who worked on the show, and it seems like they've been telling management for a while about this situation that, hey, there's some issues wrong with this show. And apparently they just told them to Band-Aid it and, kind of cover it up, it felt like.
That's new. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, and I looked up, there's some articles out there. This is one. It says Fantasmic allegedly experienced fire issues week before the dragon burned. So apparently wasn't with the dragon, but was other elements of the show. One person quoted, it was stopped for about 15 minutes and then restarted when we were there 2 weeks ago because some of the flames in the water came on too early. Very interesting.
That would be, actually, that makes a little bit more sense because, like, they talked about, they released a statement saying they killed all the fire effects at all their shows.
They did.
And I was like,
I actually saw World of Color last night. No fire in it.
Was it lame?
At all.
Was it kind of lame?
That part was lame because
it was cold.
It was definitely better with fire.
Yeah.
But yeah, devastating for a lot of production people because that show was a lot of people's babies. I feel bad for the people on the show. I know a couple of the guys who programmed the Dragon. Brian Larsh is one of them. Nick Herring, I think is his name, is one of the automation programmers for the Dragon.
It's like a totally different world. Like,
it's a totally different show. Apparently, they're going to continue the show in B mode, which is Maleficent stays up on her lift, and you see the projected dragon, and then Mickey her and she falls off.
Defeats.
Sorry, we don't.
You're gonna get us
Sorry, Disney,
demonetized already.
Don't
Yeah,
cancel me.
and Disney's coming after you now.
That's right. The AI is going to detect that one.
Yeah, right. No.
So yeah, hopefully we'll get some more info on that. Maybe have someone. I mean, the goal is to get some people from Disney on the podcast, and maybe we could dig a little deeper into what might have caused the issue specifically once they finish their investigation.
No, what's crazy? It's like one of those shows where, like, I mean, you can look at almost any show, like a concert, for instance. Like, it's all about the lighting and audio, and maybe some special effects. But like, without that in the show, is it a good show?
Big deal. I think
it loses a really big cool part of the show. They have used the
B mode before in the show.
But it's
so it has been done. The old Dragon wasn't the most animated like this one is.
But it still was cool.
But it is still cool. They still use the original Dragon at Disney World's Fantasmic, and it looks okay. But this one definitely was game changer as far as big animatronics go.
Are they bringing it back?
I don't know. I haven't heard.
Come on, you know.
We'll see.
You know.
I don't know.
You totally know.
I don't know. But if you're listening to this and you work at Disney, you'll probably text me or email me or message me, I'm sure.
If
I said something
if they bring the original Dragon back.
I want to redact that. I said anything that was not true.
There you go.
I'm just going based off
We're keeping ourselves safe
online,
here.
There's lots of articles, lots of people reported it, but we tried to gather what we thought was true, and I did talk to some people who were at the show or who have worked on the show. We'll bring some people on from Disney, hopefully on the show, and maybe they could kind of fill us in more about what specifically happened, but it is sad.
If they bring the Dragon back, you should paint your body to look like the Dragon. You should cosplay as the Dragon.
Honestly, spitting image.
You know, we did pay our respects on Sunday night to the Dragon.
Did you?
We did. We went to Disneyland. We did a little moment of silence in front of the Rivers of America.
And the only thing I can think of when I walked down there was when the Grinch burnt the tree and
that's
said,
a different
"Burn,
studio,
baby,
Brian.
Rube."
We can't relate the two. Disney,
but
sorry,
didn't
Disney.
happen.
We did not mean to bring up Universal in the same sentence.
Universal, we're sorry. We brought the competition to this.
So
anyway,
sorry about that.
Let's move on. Let's.
Yeah, all right. It's been a great first episode. Or pilot, I guess. I wouldn't say first episode, but
this one's a little shorter than I think.
Give you a little taste test of what we're looking at here, what we're trying to get into, the kind of content we want to create.
We didn't have anyone to talk to, so stick around. And we got a bunch of cool stuff to talk about. We're trying to delve into a world that I don't think a lot of people get to hear of.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So that's the episode. Thanks for tuning in.
Let us know what you liked and didn't like, because it's brand new for us. So
leave your comments below. Give us some likes, post it, reshare it. If you have friends who are in production, we're gonna cover hopefully every aspect of the production industry. We work at a church, but we also work outside of the church. So we want to bring our friends from outside in the production world in and interview them, talk about their life, talk about what they do, how they do it, and also talk about honestly some stuff that will pertain to church production. But we feel like there's a podcast potential here that could touch on both sides of the industry.
Yeah, and I think one of my favorite things about this is that Chris is desperate for views, so we're going to get him to learn a whole bunch of TikTok dances.
It's true. We're going to do some dances. I just started the Instagram account.
Don't say we.
Just we are for sure.
I'll have to clear it through my managers first.
Of course, Nathan. So yeah, tune in. It's going to be a good time, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Later.
Peace out.